What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and give me all your takes down below in the comment section. And be on the lookout for the Dodgers Nation Word of the Day. We're giving out over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes this month. All you have to do is spot that Word of the Day. It'll flash on the screen at some point during this video. And once you spot that Word of the Day, all you have to do is go to our About page, email us that word, and you're entered to win. We're giving away over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes. Good luck, secure that bag, Dodgers Nation. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. Dodgers spring training is officially underway down at Camelback Ranch in Arizona. You got pitchers and catchers reporting. You got position players showing up. You got the glove popping. You got the bats cracking pretty soon. Baseball is in the air, and this promises to be an epic season for your boys in blue. The Dodgers open with a 2021 season win total of 104.5 at Caesars Sportsbook. That's tied with the 1999 Yankees for the highest win total at Sportsbooks in the last 32 seasons. So high expectations for the defending champs, and we've learned a lot from just a couple days at Dodgers spring training. Will Kenley Jansen start the season as Dodgers closer? How does Walker Buehler look? How does Brandon Morrow look? And was Justin Turner seriously considering leaving the Dodgers? We're going to get into all that, but first, sights and sounds from day 2 of Dodgers spring training. Cody Love rolling up all business with his bat and his glove. I think we're going to get odd year bopper this year. Shoulders looking fine. Then we got Trevor Bauer, all smiles in Dodger blue. He looks happy to be in LA. And here's Mr. Cy Young throwing his first pitches in Dodger blue. How's that spin rate looking? Hopefully it's as high as it was last season. Nice behind the back catch right here. Uri ice in his veins in the postseason last year. This is going to be a big year for Julio Urias. California, big game Blake Trinan, the legend Mr. Clayton Edward Kershaw. Something different. I think it's because that World Series monkey is off that back. And the marathon continues for Tony Crenshaw, rolling up with so much swag to spring training. Then here's King Kersh getting some work in. Look, I'm going to savor every last pitch with him in a Dodgers uniform because you never know when he's going to hang it up. This could be his last spring training. I hope that's not the case, but there's his new Wilson A2000 glove right there. So one of the big questions I had entering spring training was, how is Walker Buehler going to look? Would he enter camp ready to roll? Is this the year that he contends for a Cy Young Award? Because we know what he does in the postseason. He's dominant. He's one of the best big game pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. But this year, I want to see him dominate the entire regular season and the postseason. And he said he's really happy about where he's at.
You know, it was pretty well known. I kind of took a break before we came back for summer camp last year. So, you know, just going through the season and the playoffs and all that stuff, was able to kind of condense the break that I would normally take. And, you know, so far I feel good about where I'm at. And, yeah, just trying to kind of evolve and figure out what works best for me. And so far we're happy with where I am. I just feel a little bit closer to kind of where I want to be, you know, physically. And then I think there's a mental side of that where you're not as stressed out about going through this stuff. You can kind of build up and just feel good where you are and get ready for a season.
So that is great news to hear Walker Buehler say that he feels really good about where he's at entering spring training, because in 2019, he got off to a little bit of a slow start. Through his first 29 in a third innings pitch, he had a 5.22 ERA. Those strikeout numbers were down. Then in 2020, he started the season. He had a 5.21 ERA and a 6.40 FIP in his first 4 starts. So last season, it was pretty much like you said, well known that he didn't throw very much during that 4-month shutdown. And the start of the summer camp was basically the start of a 6.5-week spring training, so it kind of makes sense. But I think this is the year where he's stretched out and ready to go right out of the gates. He just signed that new 2-year deal. He has some really attainable escalators in that contract, and I think this is the year that he finishes in the top 3 to win the Cy Young. I haven't predicted whether or not I think he's going to win it yet, but I definitely feel right now he's going to be in that top 3. And then Dave Roberts. So the big question about the closer, Dave Roberts said, "I believe we are at our best if Kenley is closing for us." So there you have it. Kenley Jansen will be starting the season as the Dodgers closer. But he also talked about how Brandon Morrow looks. So Brandon Morrow, this guy was a rock for the Dodgers in 2017. He went to the Cubs. He had some injuries. He said that he's looking really good to start spring training.
I mean, BMO, obviously very familiar with him, what he can do in a big spot, you know, the dependability, and now he's healthy. So he threw yesterday, so we'll see him on Monday, throw another pen. But right now, it was a great first day for him as far as the pen, and everything I hear from the training room, from Brandon himself, he feels good, and he's excited to be back in the Dodger uniform.
So if BMO can get anywhere close to how good he was in 2017, this is going to be another Andrew Fleeceman special, because in 2017, he was fantastic. He had a 2.06 ERA, a 1.55 FIP. This guy was a workhorse out of that Dodgers bullpen. He pitched in all 7 World Series games. Yes, that postseason ERA was at 3.95. It was a little inflated because that ERA was over 8 in the World Series. I wonder why, right? That George Springer home run there in Game 5. So that ERA went to the same trash can that the Astros were banging that season. But in 2018, he goes to the Cubs, and before he went down with an injury, he had a 1.47 ERA through 30 2/3 innings pitched, and he went from LA to the IL. Sustained tons of injuries in Chicago, but if there's one place that can get him right, it's Los Angeles. It's this franchise. So I feel really good about Brandon Morrow, and he feels really good in spring training.
Took all of last season off. I shut it down in April, when, you know, I was still trying to hang on, I guess, for a few weeks, but took the entire summer off. Good for the mind, body, and soul. So I came back in October and got after it, and doing really good so far. I probably had 9 or 10 bullpens coming into spring training, very, you know, gradual build up with those. And then, I mean, I felt pretty good yesterday with uniform on and some of the brass behind you. You get a little more adrenaline running. So I felt pretty good yesterday. Surprisingly, I felt really good, like locked in mechanically. And I mean, to my eyes, the ball's coming out, you know, the same as it would be in any other healthy spring training.
And then the Dodgers officially announced the re-signing of Justin Turner. He's arrived at spring training. His beard's shorter, but his money's longer after signing that 2-year, $34 million contract with a 3rd-year team option. And he spoke to reporters, and he was asked, was he ever close to leaving the Los Angeles Dodgers and signing with another team? Here's what JT had to say.
I don't know. It's hard to say if it was ever close or not, but there was definitely some ups and downs throughout the process where, you know, that some things happened where I wasn't sure whether or not I was actually going to end up back for the Dodgers. But the communication lines were open, and the conversations with him and Andrew and him passing that on to me, it was pretty reassuring that the desire to have me back here was still there. But there were some times where I was like, oh man, like this doesn't look good. Like I'm not sure what's going to happen.
So after listening to that, it looks like Justin Turner to the Dodgers wasn't the lock we all thought it was. But come on, Ginger Jesus. We knew you were going to stay in L.A. I agree with Walker Buehler. We scared? The Brewers? I love that. One of my favorite tweets from Butane right there. And then JT was asked about the rivalry brewing between the Dodgers and the Padres. And he said that anytime the Friars play the boys in blue, it's going to feel like a World Series game.
You know, it was exciting watching what they're doing. I think it's good for the game of baseball. They're going out and being aggressive and going for it. And it's good to see teams doing that. And I think the way I look at it now that I'm back here with the Dodgers is, you know, we're going to get 19 World Series games this year. So it'll be a good test for us, a good preparation to get ready for the playoffs.
So whether or not you consider the Dodgers versus Padres a rivalry, that's a great point by Justin Turner. It is going to help them when they get to the postseason, playing all these intense games in the regular season, because there was a big-time playoff feel in those matchups last season, but I don't think it's a rivalry quite yet. But there's no doubt it's the most anticipated matchup of the 2021 season. Dodgers-Padres is going to be an absolute showdown for the entire season. But let me know down below in the comments, do you want to see Kenley Jansen as the Dodgers closer this season? Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no, and then give me who you want to see as the Dodgers closer this season. Then will Walker Buehler finish in the top 3 to win the Cy Young this year? Let me know down below in the comments section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. For all the latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, podcasts, interviews, you can find it right here. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, And if you want to see more Dodgers content, smash that like button. We've still got the Dodgers Nation Word of the Day giveaway contest going on. Dodgers Nation is giving out over $1,000 worth of cash and prizes. All you have to do is spot the word of the day. It flashed at some point during this video, so if you saw the word of the day, all you have to do is head to our About page on our YouTube channel, email us that word of the day, and you'll be entered to win. Some of our recent winners, we've got Justin Kim, Anthony Keene, Antonio Lopez, Mateo Avila. The list goes on and on, so keep playing along. Now, for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com, and until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.